Well, the great part is that Mary Delgado, the character herself, didn't change. She is who she is, you know, and so that was great. I mean, I'm so comfortable with that character. I've played her for, you know, many years on and off. But again, translating to film is absolutely different. It's two separate worlds. So for me, it was about retweaking those like wheels in my brain that are like, okay, on this line you do this and you walk stage right and you walk, like all of that I had to be like, okay, let it go, whew, no. Even though it's basically the same scene, it's different. And again, it was like the best class I could have ever taken, you know, like just filming. That is experience that I could not match in any class that I'm going to pay for, because I mean, I was there and just had to do it, and it made me proud because I was like, oh, this is so great. Like I'm using all of these skills that I've, you know, gone to school for and trained for my whole life. So I got on set, and when we filmed the pizza scene, which is when Frankie and I first meet, one of my favorite scenes, that was so hard because, you know, in the Broadway show, it's very like, okay, I know that I pick up my glass on this line and I put my cigarette out on this line. So the first time we did it, it was like, whoo, okay, all right, here we go. And I did it once, and I remember I was like, all right, good. All right, I got this one under my belt. Like, now I'm excited to do it again. And I'm sure you've heard this, Clint Eastwood does not do many takes. And he doesn't really rehearse either. So it was like, okay, we're going to do this, and we're just going to, like, you know, do this for myself. And it was great because after the first time, I just allowed myself to be in the atmosphere. I mean, there's something to be said about being on a set and have all of these other people here with you and be sitting in an actual restaurant, you know, as opposed to just one table and one chair and one glass of wine. It's so nice to go from the stage to the film, especially in my case, because I'm so used to the stage, to have all of these other things to work with and other people. So it kind of naturally just progressed. Yeah, she is such an amazing character. I mean, she was an amazing woman, you know. Here's this independent, strong-willed woman. And, you know, you got to think this is, you know, back in the 50s, you know, not all women were like this. And I believe that's why Frankie was attracted to her, because she was something different, you know. She was like, I don't need you. You need me. You know what I mean? And, like, there's something attractive about that, especially Frankie was a little bit younger. So he's kind of like, oh, who's this woman? Whoa. Funny enough, I went to the New York screening back like a couple weeks, maybe like 3 weeks ago, and Antonia Valli, who's Frankie and Mary's real daughter, was there, and it was so special because she, you know, came up to me, and she and I had met. She's so beautiful, such a beautiful person, and she was like, Renee, you don't know how special this is to me. We had this moment, and I was like, I'm your mother, like, you're my daughter. And we just giggled about it, but, you know, then we got serious for a minute, and she, you know, I had tears in her eyes, and she was like, I really feel like my mother's here tonight. And you know, I got a little choked up, and then after we saw the screening, her daughter, Olivia, so the real Mary and Frankie's granddaughter, ran up to me, and this, I get chills when I talk about it. She was like, Renee, she was like, I have to thank you so much. She was like, you did such a great job playing my grandmother. She goes, I thought that was her up there. She goes, and I was so close to her, and I spent so much time with her. Like, thank you so much. And I said, Olivia, that's the best compliment that I could ask for. You know, after this, it's just all icing on the cake, because this is her grandmother. You know, if anyone knew her, it was Olivia. So that just like struck such a chord with me. And my mother was actually standing there when she came up to me, and you know, I turned, and my mother was there, and she was like, Renee, that's the best compliment you could ask for. And I was like, yeah, you're right.